Hi, this is Carl. Our next project involves fun with magnets. So I took apart some hard drives. This is the outer case of a hard drive. And I got some of the magnets that are in some various hard drives. Now, these are neodymium magnets, which means they're very powerful. And you can sort of see there, I'll try to get this in the focus. This one is a very thin magnet. Now, the nature of the beast with these magnets is that they're very, very powerful. So getting them apart is a lot of hard work. And the nature of magnets, the closer magnets get to each other, the more powerful they feel each other's force. So it's exponential. So as they get closer together, the force multiplies significantly, which means that when I get these close to each other, they want to jump together. And this one, as you can see, is thicker. So it's about 3 times as thick as the other one. So the lighter one has a much lighter pull. And I'll show you on the back of this plate. So here on the back of the plate, it sort of clips right on there and it makes a nice little noise. This one, you saw I pull my fingers away because it pulls so powerfully that it will literally give you a blood blister if you snap your finger between 2 of these. So imagine getting those magnets apart when they're stuck together like that. So I've got this lighter one, and let me show you just a little demonstration of how powerful they are. So I have a tiny little magnet in my pocket that I use for carrying around when I go to stores to see if for this project, is a material magnetic, and this will stick to it. This little magnet will stick to it if the material is magnetic. So now I'm trying to find things to do to make fun stuff with magnets, right? So now this is a chopping block that I bought on sale. This is made out of bamboo. And if I put the thinner of the neodymium magnets on one side, you see the smaller magnet will stick to the other side, and I can move it around pretty easily. If I take 2 of these bamboo boards, now these are each about 1/4 of an inch, so about 8 millimeters each. And if I take 2 of them and I put the smaller magnet, the smaller disk drive magnet on one side, I can get it to stay, but it doesn't want to move around, okay? Now I'm going to take the more powerful magnet. So this is the one that's thicker. I'm going to put that on one side, and we can easily move around the smaller magnet through more than a 1/2 inch thickness of wood. So what are we going to do with this? Well, we're going to figure out how to make a fishing game for a toddler. And what I need to do is remove one of the smaller magnets. I'm going to take that magnet and I'm going to stick it inside of something so that it will have to pull through the wood in order to attract the fish that we're going to build. So the first thing I have to do is remove the magnet from this brace that it's on. Now these magnets, I'll use the bigger one so it's easier to see. These magnets are actually ceramic, even though they look like they're metal. They're nickel plated. And so if you're not careful, you're going to bust it. And if you're not wearing glasses or safety glasses, you might get shards in your eye. So be incredibly careful if you're going to do what we're going to do. Now, it's surprisingly simple. Just for the record, I'm not being too unsafe here. I'm going to do this alone. I'm not going to do it with anybody else. But basically, what we're going to do is try to bend the brace metal away from the magnet. It's really, believe it or not, it's firm against there because this is magnetic, or this is solid metal, right? But it's only just lightly glued on there. The magnet is holding it in place, and then the glue keeps it from moving at all. So all we have to do is bend this outer frame just a little bit, and that magnet should stay straight. Now, I've been told if you got a bunch of acetone sitting around, you can soak that in acetone. It'll take that glue off. Let's try the vise first. Okay, so I am going to put on some safety goggles in addition to my regular glasses, just 'cause, why not? And I've got the magnet inside of the vise, and I'm just going to clamp onto the other part with a vise grip. Theoretically, this should bend and that should not. And I'm going to stand back, and we're just going to peel it off of there. And you see, that is magnetized. We lost a little nickel plating, but not bad. Okay, so what's the actual plan here? Well, I've got these very thin pieces of wood. Very, very thin, right? Not much thicker than the magnet itself. And so we're going to put the magnet between the pieces of wood and then see if we can pick up a piece of metal. And we can. So that's a beautiful thing. Now all I have to do is to take this piece of wood, cut it into the shape of a fish hook, and we will be ready to go. Luckily, we live in an era where the closest thing this baby's ever seen to a fishing hook is the oversized Polynesian fishing hook from the movie Moana. So I just stylized something that kind of sort of is supposed to look like that. Then I need to make the sea creatures, and what I'm going to do is I've got these bamboo cutting boards. Now, this might be the best bargain in making stuff currently today. You get 2 of these in different size, slightly different sizes. This is the larger one. You get 2 of them for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. So I'm just saying that's probably worth doing. So that's what I'm going to use to cut out the wooden pieces to be fish and jellyfish and so forth. Now, I need a design. So I subscribe to a service called Free Pick, and I'll put a link down below. And it's not an affiliate or anything, but it's surprisingly cheap. And I can't remember what we pay, but it's in the neighborhood of no more than $125 a year for massive amounts of graphics and video and all kinds of stuff. Well, I downloaded some icons of sea creatures, and now all I need is the outlines of them so that I can draw them onto the wood, or what I really do is I print these out. I put them into Microsoft Word so I can resize the graphics until they're about the width of what I want. Then I print them one-sided and I just cut them out and literally glue them onto the wood. I used my scroll saw to cut out all of those shapes and just literally just went around the outside of each of them. And then, of course, I got to take off the paper that I had glued to it, but that's super easy. Just peel it up and it comes off big pieces. Pretty straightforward. So with a little water, they all come off and they look great. Now I got to do a little bit of sanding. I got to do a lot of sanding. Little finish, little paint, and then it should be good. Okay, so the fish is ready to go. It's got a little bolt in there. And then I made a fish line where it's got a fishing pole, just a little dowel with a hole in it, piece of old shoelace, and I haven't finished decorating the hook, but there's the Maui inspired hook with the magnet inside. Now, just so you know how strong this magnet is, it can pick up this entire tin, which is empty, but still, it's a pretty good size piece of metal. So there you have it. A fun little project that involves cutting out some shapes from a bamboo cutting board on a scroll saw, and then making a little makeshift hook and a fishing rod, and just putting some little hex bolts into the wood shapes, and there you go. You got yourself a little game for a little kid. Hey, like it if you like it, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to the channel, because you never know, you might miss something if you don't.